Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all. Is it visible to everyone? The screen and everything? Okay, then, with that note, we shall start the class. So, there's certain news that we have to cover today. And one announcement from next Saturday, we will do prelims exclusive. Means this class mein I will do the same that background, means content, next class we will only do prelims. So prelims ka facts and whatever is required, prelims based study will be there. No means background and anything. Keep that in mind. And that will continue so long there is prelim. After prelim, we will again switch to our original method of means background, means understanding, whatever is the first power of ACA. Actually, the news is small. If you read this news, nonetheless, this news is not important. Why? Because of political news. However, the background knowledge, why it happens, how it's happened, is important. The recently Supreme Court has refused to stay the Election Commission of India's order to give the party name Shiv Sena and its bow and arrow to the Eknath Shinde faction. Basically, there was a party Shiv Sena founded by Balasaheb Thackeray. Okay, and his son, the Uddhav Thackeray, had this for now. But now there is another faction, Eknath Shinde faction, which has broken away from Uddhav faction and ultimately joined the BJP government, and BJP is in power in Maharashtra now. So this faction actually, the ECI has given the name Shiv Sena and its symbol, bow and arrow to the Uddhav faction. So that's something the Uddhav faction took it to Supreme Court. Supreme Court has refused to stay. And the thing that is test of result. Remember this and remember this test of result. You will understand what it is. First thing we need to understand we need to understand the role of ECI in India's election governance, the power it has, the rules, acts it use. That's it. And any question to anyone? Someone raise their hand. Okay, cool. So we have this. First, we need to understand why there is so much of hue and cry over this symbol. The symbol, actually, if you see when India got independence, the male literacy was around 16, 17 something. Again, the female literacy was around 5 to 6%. This was the literacy rate when India was independent. Britishers never took effort to basically educationize India. The only effort they took was to provide education, that too in English, not in other languages. Audio error. Anyone except Rohit is having audio problem. Okay, so Rohit, what you do is rejoin the class. The problem on your side. So what I was saying, if basically Britishers left India depredation. Can anyone tell me the name if you have covered modern Indian history? There was some minute something after which English-based education was stalled in India. I think you are also victim. Yes, peculiar mining. You will study this. Actually, Britishers were in a very big problem. When they captured India, initially they governed India by their people, the Britishers, the Europeans. But the problem that was witnessed, India is vast, British are few. So to govern this vast India, they need a bureaucracy. And that's how IS service works. They thought, why shouldn't we keep a top bureaucracy that you today know as IS services? They kept this for exclusively Europeans. And below this, the C or D grade job that you have in India, all of those jobs were manned by Indians. Because India is a vast country, IS service agar aap dekhiye, it's very minute. It is not more than 1% of entire bureaucracy, not more than 1% of entire bureaucracy of states and the union is not more than 1%. But they control the majority of the powers. This team that we have today also was installed by British. Purpose was the top boss will be a European, but the remaining staff, which is 99% of the entire bureaucracy, ये कहाँ से लाए? From where we can get? British did not have that population. Europe population will not cannot fulfill. So the macular minors come. Macular minor decided that we will educate Indians. We will educate Indian, but education is problem with it. Education is a slippery slope. Hacker for a dictatorship. That's why I always say every dictator attack on students and intellectual first. The reason being, once you get educated, education के साथ comes question. You start questioning the dispensation. So Britishers wanted to make sure that we should educate them sufficiently, but not too much. Sufficiently, so they can run the administration, but not too much. They start questioning the administration. In that context, you get Maculum minor, and it's all English-based education. Problem with English-based education was it did not percolate to the people, and the consequence, only 16 downward filtration theory, yes. And the consequence was only around 16 to 17% of male were literate and 5 to 6. So India was born in a very peculiar circumstances, a depredated condition, economically and socially. So at that point of time, we thought, yeah, we are giving right to vote to every single person. That was revolutionary from every standard. India gave right to vote to everyone, including its women and everyone from day one. No country in the world gave right to vote at the beginning. You see, US and other countries who became democracy before us, they for decades did not give any right to women. After a long time, it came the right to women came. We gave everyone right to vote from one day. Election Commission has to ponder over a question कि क्या करा जाए, how they can find out. They cannot read what they can do. Symbols. Symbol is something everyone can identify. So now अगर आप देखें तो around India is around 76% literacy rate is there all India level, pan India level. So it's very high, not sufficiently high, but nonetheless good amount. So a lot of people can read and write nowadays. So symbol does not have that much value. It had once upon a time, but nonetheless now symbol has emotional attachment. Why every party use their symbol in everything, their flags, their banners, everywhere you find symbol. BJP has that lotus symbol, that Congress has the hand symbol. So that's the fight is going on. It is a fight not on a symbol, but on the psyche of the voters. The voter who does not identify Shiv Sena by its leader, but by its symbol, bow and arrow. That's why the Thakre is so adamant to make sure that everyone get to know bow and arrow has been stolen, he's saying, so that people get to know. Clear है यहाँ तक the philosophy and the politics of symbol? Okay. So this is it. Next, we need to understand the constitutional framework. What is the constitutional framework? Election Commission of India, which we know is established under Article 324. And there is a particular case that we all must remember, Kanhaiya Lal Omar. Article 324 में the Election Commission of India is the only body created by the Constitution for election at the level of Parliament, State Legislature, President, and Vice President. Kanhaiya Lal Omar. In Kanhaiya Lal Omar case, Supreme Court clearly said the Election Commission has plenary powers. What do we mean by plenary powers? Means reservoir of powers. Plenary powers means reservoir of powers. There is no limitation on the power of Election Commission of India. It can do whatever it wants. The only purpose is to ensure free and fair election. That's the role of Election Commission. The only thing Election Commission has to do, free and fair election. And for that, it has plenary powers according to Supreme Court. It can do whatever it wants. It can command anyone. It can command any forces of the union. That's why CRPF, CSF, army, if required, can give them order and they have to obey. Even if the government says, the election commission says that some area is disturbed, and it orders the army to go there and maintain law and order for election. And government says no, कुछ नहीं कर सकती government. The army at that point of time will have to obey the order of Election Commission of India, then the government. That kind of vast power has been bestowed upon Supreme Election Commission of India. Only purpose, ensure free and fair election. Exercising this plenary power, the Election Commission has made something called as Election Symbol Order Reservation and Allotment Regulation 1960. In short, Election Symbol Order 1968. In short, Election Symbol Order 1968. इसमें you need to remember a few things. पहला, under this order, the Election Commission allocates symbols to the parties, and within this order, there is something called as recognized party. Let's understand what is that. Parties in India are classified as registered and unregistered, or non-registered, you can say that. These are the parties which are registered with the Election Commission of India, and it is compulsory if you want to fight in elections. Unregistered party means a party which do political work but does not participate in electoral process directly. Example is RSS. The Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Remember this, BJP is a wing of RSS. RSS is a big platform. It has multiple branches, it has multiple ideas. It runs schools, colleges, it has multiple things. Pressure group से ज़्यादा है ये. Too powerful nowadays. ठीक है? And it has a wing. तो कह सकते हैं kind of pressure group, but it's too powerful. So RSS has a wing. A wing of RSS is political wing of RSS is known as BJP, and that is registered. You have to be a registered party to fight the election. So registered, once you are registered, you can fight the election. Within registered party, there is another category called as recognized parties. Registered means you have two बन गया. That is non-recognized and recognized. All parties which are registered to Election Commission of India participate in election. They may be recognized or may be non-recognized. Recognized matlab among the all registered party, Election Commission recognize some party as national parties and some parties as state parties. National parties or state parties. This is called recognized party. Okay? The advantage you have that is you get a symbol. Every registered party gets a symbol, but recognized party have a permanent symbol. That's why BJP has lotus forever and Congress has hand forever. Because they are recognized party. And these parties are often the party which have the power to form the government, to break the government. Clear everyone? There are certain criteria not important here for now. So far, any question? Constitutional framework of elections in India is clear? Okay. Now let's assume a dispute comes. मान लीजिए बीजेपी में कांग्रेस की बात करते हैं. बीजेपी में तो राइट नाउ मोदी जी इज एवरीथिंग. लेट्स से कांग्रेस, इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस. अब इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस में से फॉर एग्जांपल इट इज डिवाइडेड बिटवीन मान लेते हैं देयर इज वन फैक्शन लेड बाय राहुल गांधी से फॉर एग्जांपल. And a lot of people who get dissatisfied because of Rahul Gandhi, they may form another faction, XYZ faction, we can call this. So, election commission now then have to decide. Both will claim that INC or Indian National Congress is my party. So, how election commission will take it? This is we called this. This is starting में मैंने बोला था test of majority. This is called test of majority. What election commission will see out of these two people, who commands majority of support. Which of these two command majority of support of whom? Of MPs, MLAs, a party holder, whatever you can name them. Whosoever commands the majority of MP, MLAs, party holder, whatever, that person will get the official tag of the party. That party will be election commission will recognize that person as controller of the party. And that's what happened in Shiv Sena. Shiv Sena mein majority of the people, majority of the party delegate officers, MP and MLA, they supported that faction, Eknath Shinde faction. That's how Election Commission has given the Shiv Sena as symbol to Eknath Shinde, and Uddhav Thackeray has lost it. Clear? How everything governs? This is unique. ये जो part है, ये जो हमने discuss किया, this part, this is important for UPSC that Shiv Sena debate is not. Any question so far to anyone? I believe Ram is writing. This rule, test of majority, election commission, ruling का मतलब नहीं है, no Ram. You would not understand this. I'm saying it is in case of recognized party. This rule of majority is applied in recognized parties. So recognized party have a particular symbol and they are listed in a particular order. For them, rule of majority applies. Rest में registered party, they do not have a permanent symbol. Every election they get a new symbol. उनको कोई guarantee नहीं. You can make your own party. This is applicable to recognized party, whether in power or out of power. Currently, Congress is out of power. Even then, if somebody command Congress, they can claim by rule of majority.
So, but then how is this majority decided, sir?
Majority, I told you, no, majority of the supporters, party may, there are party delegates, they are officers of the party, मतलब president, chairperson, जो भी, whatever party has the delegates. These people go to election commission and they say whether I support this person or whether I support this person. Whoever get the majority of the support, they get the party.
Got it, right. Thank you.
Okay. So that is how it works. This is all you have to remember. You have to remember the rule of majority and this order. This is very important. Remember this order. Election symbol order 1968, which under which symbols are provided and the parties are registered and recognized. These things, sorry, recognized. Registered is under Representation of People Act. Registration of a party is compulsory under Representation of People Act to be able to fight election. Recognized is done under election. Yeah, this is the kind of summary. Baki, I've told you, Election Commission 324, it runs free. The prime responsibility it has is this: Parliament, Assembly, President, Vice President. Is another body called local bodies. Do not confuse that. Local bodies, that is municipalities and panchayat. They have a different election body known as State Election Commission. Every state has its state election commission. They run election for local body. Election Commission of India does not run election for local bodies. Yeah, please remember this distinction. बाकी अब आते हैं मेन प्रोसेस पे. तो we have understood that election commission is the most powerful body when it comes to election function. It can order anyone, it can give any command to anyone, it can rusticate, suspend, terminate, whatever it wants during election time. It can do to anyone in the government in all branches. There is no limitation on state government, central government. No. Can you make use of every single resource of the government, including armed forces if required. So far, it has not used armed forces. It has used paramilitary. That's a different. So, appointment. This is the most critical point of debate in election commission. The problem is the current election commission is composed of chief election commissioners and two election commissioners. The issue that we have is they are appointed by the president. Or whose recommendation? That it is prime minister. The prime minister recommends a person, the president appoints. Council of Minister, you can say prime minister की चलती है. Anyway, you can say council of minister required. ठीक है, तो that person is recommended to the president, president appoint. Problem ये है, it has been seen that a large number of time that the prime minister often recommends their favorites, and देखिए most of the time IAS are appointed. Why? Because IAS क्या होता है? देखिए एक चीज याद रखिएगा everyone. You can be selected as an IAS on merit, but your promotion will depend on political patronage. Keep this in mind. You can become an IAS on your merit by cracking the GPC exam, but to be promoted to become DM and above clearly depend on political patronage. Your money, your salary will increase as per promotion. Your rank may increase, but functional powers, whether you will be appointed somewhere as something, you may be under secretary government of India sitting at home. You will be a under secretary sitting at home taking salary and everything, but no work. So actual functional power only depends on political patronage. And that's why most of the services, IAS especially, these people are highly politically charged. I'm not saying for everyone, but majority I'm saying they are politically charged. That's why if you notice this phenomena, as soon as the government change, there is a wave of transfer. As soon as the government changes a number of IAS and IPS, be it central government, state government. Why? Because the current dispensation has IAS, IPS, and other officers according to their right. Next government comes, it appoints the person it likes. So, especially at the top rank, जो secretary level rank होती है, the highest rank for an IAS officer, the person in secretary, they are the top rank. 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 They are is a person the government likes. If government does not like you, it doesn't matter how talented you are, how qualified you are, how good you are. You will never become a secretary. This much is clear. You can understand the example from, for example, currently. I think I've told this. Currently, I think there are around 89 secretary to government of India. Out of them, if merit is the criteria, then imagine how many of them will be SC, ST, OBCs. कितने होंगे? अगर merit ही criteria है तो usually पहले मैंने बात की ना, usually you have reservation. देखिए reservation कितना है? इस समय 60% reservation है यूपीएससी और historically 50 रहा है. SC, ST, OBC reservation club together 50%. So at least I expect at least 20% of the secretary must be from this category. ऐसा नहीं है. I think three secretaries, two ST, one SC, and zero OBC is in union government right now. All of them are general category. Can you say all of them are on merit? Not at all. Patronage. Keep this in mind. अब आते हैं main point. Depending on political patronage, the person is appointed as the election commissioner. There are high chances that person is biased. That's why even Supreme Court has said there should be a collegium or a selection committee for the election commission. होनी चाहिए. इसमें एक चीज समझिए. I have always said in governance particularly, independent institutions serves the people, and you can write this statement wherever you like. Ethics paper or governance paper. Independent institutions serves the people. Independent institutions serves the power. Whosoever in power serves them only. So the problem here is I have ये नाम हमेशा याद रखिएगा TN session. You can keep that name for your governance paper also and ethics also. TN session. He was the person who was appointed by Rajiv Gandhi. He recommended him to the president. He was appointed election commissioner. He changed the face of election. Yes. Voter ID that you have, and a numerous reform he introduced in election commission. And the government said we will not include because all government does not. Election voter ID said fraud of voting is less. So they thought क्यों करा? Simply said I will not allow phased election इसने introduce किया था. Yes, phased election voter ID numerous reform he introduced, and that's what happened when you have people with a back people with a idiot हो गया बोलते हैं जिसमें fine. Yes. That is what when you have people with fine in power, they do something for other people. And this person popularly said that, as Ram has pointed out, he said, "I eat politician in breakfast." And a journalist asked him that you're competing with the government. That's why government does not allow. So reform क्या हो सकता है? This is the biggest reform in election commission. The reform could be a impartial process. कैसे हो सकता है? Simply UPSC can put a open notification. The way it include IPS, currently civil service, na? UPSC can put an open notification listing some criteria. The way currently it put that you must be citizen of India, this and that, then you can apply. Similarly, anyone who satisfies the criteria, like 20 years in services, including private people. Here, all talent is not in government services. Private people, we also talented. We have numerous examples. So it can provide a criteria. Based on that criteria, it should be open to all Indians. Whosoever fulfill the criteria can apply. Once they apply, it can conduct interviews. Based on interview, it can recommend three people to the government, basically the Council of Ministers. And out of that, the Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister can choose any of the three. Any among the three, it can choose. This will be the best process. It will ensure that no one, the person appointed, is of credibility. But do you think the government will bring this reform? The government who says I am for the people, no government will. That's the problem we have. Governance में एक चीज मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ. We do not need superman. Do not need superman. All we need is good laws. If we have good laws, we never need superman. Superman comes when we do not have good laws and they abuse their power. We have good laws, we do not need superman, and that law will serve us. For example, right to information, right to education, right to food. These act has empowered you and I. The superman empowers themselves only. वो अपॉइंटमेंट के खेलते हैं. वो एक्चुअली क्या होता है? इसमें देयर इज अ परमानेंट टेन्योर. ठीक है, 6 years 65 का सीन होता है. What the government does, whoever is about to retire, the point kar dete. Sometimes government give extension. They say we are unable to find somebody credible. और number of time पता क्या हुआ है? Government put a notification for this election commissioner. People applied. ये reform तो ला सकते हैं. If you make a law, this is of the government. Government पे blame बन जाएगा, and I believe it's good. If you make a law, ना Supreme Court become powerful. Problem ये है, why the government does not pass this law? If it pass a law, then the power goes to Supreme Court. Because interpretation depends on Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can interpret it the way it wants, including for the people. And that's why I say Modi ji is missing the biggest opportunity of his life. He could be known as the Modi the reformer in the history books. He has the majority in most of the state. He controls majority of the party. He commands everything. If he brings such beautiful reform that empower you and I, he can be remembered in history as the Modi the reform. He's missing a big opportunity. He a politician है क्या कर सकते. Anyway, clear suppose this is the most important. Clear all the debates surrounding election commission. Any question so far? Baki, this all is the standard quality that they can be removed like a judge of Supreme Court. Service condition cannot be changed. इसमें एक अच्छी बात मुझे याद आई. I will not say this. Google Lavasa. You know, I also love my freedom to some extent. Google this. It says na a chief election commissioner can be removed from his office in the manner like of judge of Supreme Court. Service condition. No other election commissioner. Two ECs that we have. The two ECs cannot be removed without the recommendation of CEC. It's a very impartial person. So Google this person Lavasa. What happened to him? A very beautiful story you come to know, then you will understand. Government comes to revenge. Even election commissioners are not removed. ये बेचारे को जाना पड़ा इंडिया से. No, it will be very bad. Supreme Court should not appoint, not at all. Supreme Court appoints its own judges, and look what is the condition. Because everyone remember the judges of Supreme Court or any court, they are humans like you and me. They have all the problem that you and I have. They have all the issue that election commission has. Yes, Lavasa wala do look at the case, then you will get to know. But if government come to revenge, then even election commissioners are nothing. But the condition is media should be on your side. If media is on your side, then you can do anything to anyone. People get to know about the wrongdoings by media. Media silent है तो क्या है? Hindu Musliman is going on. So what is the problem? Anyway, Rohit clear है. Supreme Court shall never do this kind of thing. That is not the role of Supreme Court, and Supreme Court में judges are there, and they do not have a good track record of appointing people. There's so many disputed recommendation of Supreme Court of its own judges, including High Court judges. Clear, Rohit? Baki, you can read. That's the thing that I have to debate. All you need to remember the constitutional framework, the Article 324, the election symbol order, and under what the Power Election Commission has. The biggest problem in election commission, the appointment issue, appointing the influenced people. So how we can make that autonomous and a good democracy can arrive. That's with that note, we shall move to next news. Satluj Yamuna link canal. The next news is Satluj Yamuna link canal. It is with respect to your GS में polity में something you have called interstate disputes. In that you have some experience. What happened? Mute out. So interstate disputes. The thing that we have is in your GS, especially polity, you have interstate dispute. So this is in that context, especially water dispute among the states. It is in this context. Let me give you a bit history of this. Not very important about detail, but understand the dynamics. Actually, recently the governor of Haryana, speaking at the inaugural budget session of the Haryana state legislature, said that the state government cost state में है MP, Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, आप साउथ में चले जाइए, this issues are enormous. This is issue per se is not important, but the constitutional framework is important for a GS paper. State government is committed to get its due share from the state Ravi Vyas River by the construction of Satluj River. Actually, what happened? This is something you will study in India after independence. GS paper 1 mein, this is part of India after independence. Here you will understand about the issue of reorganization of the states. In that, one issue is Haryana and Punjab. Initially, it was known as PAC. This term you even found even today. The old buses that you find in Haryana and Punjab, वहाँ पे अभी भी बसों पे लिखा होता है PAC2. A lot of buses, still the government buses have PAC2 word. This is that province. The entire region of Northwest, including Haryana, Punjab, it was known as PAC2. Similarly, the northeastern, the entire northeast was known as Northeastern Frontier Province, that NEFP. This is the entire name. These states were later on made. So PAC2 may actually what happened, there was a division. Haryana and Punjab were created separately. They were separated from each other. It was a greater Punjab, out of which Haryana was carved out. That point of time, the rivers that you have, वहाँ पे you have Indus Valley system. So you can see history, geography, polity, all in same. There is something called as Indus Valley system on the upper side, and majority of rivers goes to Punjab. Punjab, and some goes to Pakistan directly, some goes to आपका Jammu Kashmir, especially Jhelum and all. So what happened? Indus River Valley system, when it was divided, Haryana was promised it will get a part of the water from Punjab. And that's how family works. If a family may, you are good working, you're good earning, your sibling is not, then that's the role of the parents. They take some money from you to give to your siblings. And that's the same goes to you also. That's how family works. We help each other. Nonetheless, Haryana when carved out, Punjab was created. Punjab is saying, I have no extra water. Haryana is saying, give me the water you promised. When Haryana was created, it was promised a part of the water from Punjab. Punjab is saying, I have no extra water. Why? Because water is a sentimental topic for everyone. This is the same issue you find in IR. IR made the rivers that are interstate rivers, like India, Pakistan, sorry, China, India, Bangladesh. All these rivers which go from inter-country, they have same problem. Issue is water is sentimental. Water is used for irrigation, for water, for food, for everything in your life you require water. Virtually everything. So no state, even if they have more, similarly no country, even if they have more, would like to give water to other country or other state. Same sentiment goes in first point. It's a sentimental topic. Second thing, that water is actually a political issue. Okay? एक चीज मैंने पहले ही बात, reality is what you believe in. Fact is different. Reality is what you believe in. If you believe in something, it's your reality. It doesn't matter it is real or not. It is fact or not. If you believe it's reality. So what politicians do is they know water is sentimental topic, especially in a farming country like India. So what they do whenever there is election, observe this trend. Whenever there is election or near election, water issue उछलना शुरू हो जाता है. Whenever there is election or near election, this water dispute all of a sudden start catching the headlines. Because the politician knows this is a sentimental topic, let's exploit. This is the biggest problem why interstate disputes are not resolved in India. Because they are a site of political mobilization. They are a site of political mobilization. So actually government says that Punjab has too much of water, it is using too much of water. Punjab says we have no water. Why is it so? Told you know why is it so? Because water is a sentimental topic, and especially India is agriculture, primarily agriculture. We all need water. So the government knows, the politician knows that ये तो देखिए this banning thing ना I really don't like and this frustrates. ये हर government करती है. मतलब you are the government of India, you are so scared of a song. or your government of any Punjab, Haryana, for example, that Bihar, I believe, Bihar or UP, that girl got fired against her because she wrote that song over that TCB wala. Some people were killed and the girl and the mother. So this is the tendency of dictatorship. And मैंने हमेशा कहा है, dictators are the most insecure person on earth. छोटी छोटी चीज से they get angry. A democratic person are never angry. You are that weak that a song written by somebody can uproot your government. That is what I'm saying. Dictatorship का what you can say. These people have dictatorship standing. इंडिया में आजकल अगर आप देखें, if you see democracy index is sliding. India is sliding very fastly on democracy index. The quality of democracy in India is reducing at a very fast pace. And a single song you got so scared. You कहने को you are government, the supreme power, and you're scared of a song. Yes, Musiwala वही था that too. I think 295. Yes, I agree. आपको पता है what is 295? Section, article नहीं दमन. Actually, it's a section. Yes, IPC section. IPC section 295 is applied for hatred when you try to promote animosity among the group. So उस पे लगा था. He was imposed by 295 by the Punjab police, I believe, or Haryana, I don't know. So after that, he wrote that song 295. It is in that context. Anyway, क्या कह सकते हैं? These dictators are very sensitive. Nonetheless, so clear as आपको, it's a site of political mobilization. It's a site of political mobilization. It's a sentimental topic, and people and politician knows. Okay, if you don't have food, it's different. But if you are sentimental about something, you can destroy yourself. Love बहुत अच्छा example. Love में लोग क्या नहीं करता. If I ask you to do something, you won't do it. लेकिन किसी के लिए you do everything. ठीक है, दोस्त मांगे 10 रुपए नहीं है, उसके लिए 100 रुपए भी है. So that's the thing you need to understand, that's happened. That's love hatred. Love hatred वाला जो relationship है, these are emotional topics. Politicians understand what are these emotional topics, so it doesn't matter whether you have vote or not. It becomes site of political mobilization. Okay, this is the biggest problem. This big problem became so big that a lot of violence and loss of life has happened. Engineers who were sent to build this project, they were even executed. Because of that, this project is under stay. Thing number one that you need to remember. NPA बन जाता है, सही बात. Point number two. Point number two is understand this. No, Supreme Court of India has multiple time ordered to construct this canal. ठीक है, directing Punjab as the government, but every time this stopped. The problem that happened, the state government of Punjab, they passed a resolution in the legislature of Punjab against the construction of canal. But this is a constitutional matter. Because whether state government can do such kind of thing against the Supreme Court order is not clear. This everyone you have to keep this in mind. ये देखिएगा, whenever Supreme Court, it is in the constitutional batch of Supreme Court. When judgment comes out, you have to cover this. Because whether this can be done, I think it cannot be done. The state legislature cannot pass a law to overrule Supreme Court judgment. Parliament of India can. Parliament of India, Supreme Court gives an order, and Parliament wants to overturn the order. It can pass a law to overturn. State legislature, I don't think have the power to overturn the Supreme Court order. Supreme Court gave an order, state government passed a resolution against the order. It is in the constitutional bench of Supreme Court. यहाँ तक anyone has any question? Yes, it can. Ultimate interpretation Supreme Court के पास होती है. But keep this in mind. Supreme Court में judges बैठे हैं. मैं फिर वही point पे आऊँगा. I will come again back to that point. The judges who are sitting in Supreme Court, they are not born out of a clean slate. They have a history. Every judge has a history. Remember, government is present everywhere. I have not seen in the history of Supreme Court or otherwise, if Supreme Court gives an order, Parliament overturns the order. So it rarely, very rarely happens that Supreme Court overturns the law. And that happens if it is too much unconstitutional. One example that I can come off is Shah Bano case that I may have told you about in OBC reservation. Shah Bano was a woman who went to Supreme Court for getting the alimony. Supreme Court ordered the alimony. The government passed a law in Parliament to overturn the judgment, and that judgment was that law was challenged in Supreme Court in Latifi case, and Supreme Court annulled the law. This is one case that I remember. Otherwise, Supreme Court often does not do this. Legally speaking, it can. Clear now? Amar, I just said that legally Supreme Court can declare anything unconstitutional that it finds is against the law of the land. That is constitution. It can declare anything, but generally they don't. They resist because they also know it's all about, I told you, morality. इसके लिए थोड़ा समझाना पड़ेगा देखिए morality. I took an example, for example, that you may be physically more powerful than your mother. It doesn't mean that you can beat her. It doesn't matter what you become, IAS, president, whatever you become. Even then, your mother can beat you whenever she wants. Why? She is nothing in front of you. Why she can beat you? The reason is morality. She is morally much powerful than you. Even when physically you're powerful. Same goes here. Government of India is powerful, but everything is morality. Government of India does something which is highly immoral, unjustified. Supreme Court often overturn this, but generally Supreme Court नहीं करता. NJAC वाला you are saying उसमें Supreme Court I believe was wrong. Whenever we will do NJAC, we will say Supreme Court was wrong. Okay, declaring that nobody has the right to appoint judges was wrong. It is imperium imperio. Judges Supreme Court के perfect नहीं है. That's a collegium issue. We will cover that someday. So far is it clear? ठीक है तो ये चीजों को प्लीज रिमेंबर एवरीवन. पहला तो ये कि the thing that is happening, it is a site of political mobilization, the water issue. That's why they are never solved in India. Second thing you need to remember is that this state government has passed the resolution to overturn Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court constitutional bench is evaluating this. We have to see what the comes out, but I believe Supreme Court will declare this resolution unconstitutional. The state government cannot overturn Supreme Court judgment. And these two things you need to keep in mind here. About the main constitutional framework that is important for us. The constitutional framework of water disputes in India. There is something called as Article 260. The Article 260, remember everyone, this article governs the interstate water dispute. Under this article, the Parliament of India under this article, the Parliament of India can pass a law to provide interstate water dispute mechanism. Exercising that power, Parliament has passed Water Dispute Act 1956. Water Dispute Act 1956 has been passed by the Parliament. This provides something called as ad hoc benches. Let me give you a process how it works. For example, the state of Tamil Nadu has a dispute with Karnataka. So Tamil Nadu will go to the central government and properly union government. The union government will appoint a tribunal. Tribunal is like a court, but not exactly court. The tribunal will adjudicate the case, and ultimately it will give the judgment. And this judgment is binding on all parties. This mechanism is provided in the Water Dispute Act. This is the current mechanism. State going to the union appointing the tribunal that adjudicate the case, gives the judgment binding on all parties. That's the. It has numerous weaknesses, not to be covered here. Nonetheless, this is the process that is going on. A problem kahan aati? There one problem. Biggest problem is this union government. Union government often does not appoint tribunal. Example, Tamil Nadu approached on Kaveri water to union government in 1970s. For 30 years, union government did not appoint tribunal. Only when Tamil Nadu then approached Supreme Court ordered union government, then tribunal was. Question is why? Again, if you remember point number one, water is a sentimental topic. Sentimental means political issue, and nobody want to lose politics. Okay, for example, application लिखते हैं, your parents and you are siblings. If you win, your brother lost, your sister lost, she wins or he wins, and you lose. But nonetheless, your parents cannot take sides because they know if they take side, they will lose. You win and they take side of yours, they will lose. The other sibling they support you, they will lose. Same is union government. If union government, for example, the dispute is between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. If union government take Tamil Nadu's side, they will lose the vote in Karnataka. If they take Karnataka side, they will lose the vote in Tamil Nadu. Any party to become the central government, they need vote from both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Politicians of Tamil Nadu do not care about the people of Karnataka because they get the vote. The people of Karnataka, the leaders of Karnataka don't care about Tamil Nadu because they do not get vote from Tamil Nadu. But the Union Party gets vote from both states. And that's why Union never becomes a part of interstate. Clear? This is the biggest problem which makes sense politically. So far, this is the legal framework we have. You have to remember this entire legal framework. Legal framework is Article 262, Water Dispute Act 1956. Under this is these three things you have to remember. Now, this is the most important judgment of Supreme. What happened? I told you if come here, if I told you something called this, that case hands here. You approach to union appointed tribunal, adjudicate judgment by hands here. What happens after this? Almost every losing party goes to Supreme. As we all have a tendency, we try to exploit as many remedies as possible. So everyone try to go to Supreme Court. The key Article 262 clearly bars Supreme. Okay, this is linked to what Amber you said, NJAC declare unconstitutional. You will understand this significantly. Who is the ultimate interpreter of Constitution? Supreme Court. I told you Supreme Court, Indian Supreme Court is the world's most powerful court. If it is written yes in the Constitution, Supreme Court says it is no. For the entire country and entire legal framework, it is no, even if it is written yes there. So what happened? There is an article called Article 356. It is known as special leave petition. What is special leave petition? Basically, it is the power of Supreme Court to entertain any dispute. The word is special leave petition. And I said the power of Supreme Court. It is not your right to approach Supreme Court. It is the power of Supreme Court to entertain virtually any dispute on earth. Whatsoever. What locus standard? You saying it applies? Locus standard apply नहीं करता है SLP में. Sure. Check it again. Look, for other people who have not covered polity yet, but rather it's saying na locus standard. Actually, it means what is your state. For example, if you go to somebody and say, भाई आपकी गाड़ी में हवा कम है, तो वो क्या बोलता है? तेरे को क्या भी? Go to someone and say that your vehicle does not have proper air, तो वो कहता है, why do you care? What is your locus standard? Approach to any court, you must have a locus standi in this case. But either you must be a party, must be victim, aggressor, whatever, must be. More than locus. Okay, clear to non-polity people. अब आते हैं राधा के क्वेश्चन में. अरे नहीं भैया, हम टक्कर नहीं होती. That's happened. Maybe I may be wrong. Who knows? हाँ राधा. Remember this. Locus standi apply करता है. Locus standard SLP में apply करता है. You are confusing between public interest litigation and SLP. Special leave petition में locus standard apply करता है. PIL में apply नहीं करता. PIL is a special type of SLP without locus standard. हाँ, मुझे लग रहा था you may be confusing in both. Locus standard does not apply in PIL. which is a special type of SLP. SLP में locus standi apply. Please everyone remember. Let's come back to our thing. So under Article 136, the Supreme Court पे you can go. Any state who is aggrieved can go. Problem is Article 262 bars Supreme Court, but यहाँ पे you can approach to Supreme Court on virtually any issue. So what happened is 2018 में Supreme Court ordered that Article 136 is superior over Article 260. मतलब this bar does not apply. And how Supreme Court did this miracle? Because Supreme Court became supreme over the Constitution. Constitution says you have no role. But Supreme Court, because it has the power of interpretation of yes to no, so it changed the word no to yes. Now, remember this, even if Article 262 prohibits Supreme Court from entertaining interstate dispute, it can, because it is clearly said Article 136 is superior over Article 262. Anyone can approach Supreme Court on water dispute. Anyone but the states. Clear everyone so far? Okay. So these are the some legal. Okay, let me repeat again. Uh, Interpretation of what I told you, the ultimate interpreter of the Constitution is the Supreme Court. The Constitution Article 262 clearly says, which deals with interstate dispute, the Supreme Court has no role in interstate dispute. It prohibits Supreme Court of India interfere in water dispute. But Supreme Court in its 2018 order interpreted the Constitution and said that Article 136, which is special leave petition, is superior to Article 260. Matlab it said even if Article 262 bars me from entertaining the dispute, there is no power in this country which can prevent me from entertaining interstate dispute. Basically, Supreme Court interpreted the Article 262 to nullify Article 260 and expanded its power. Now is it clear, Ram? Okay. So this thing you need to remember. So this is the legal framework so far. We have Article 262 under which we have made Water Dispute Act. This is the procedure. This is the flow of the procedure. And in this, the role of Supreme Court may you will say, even though Supreme Court has no role in water dispute under Article 262, but after 2018 judgment, it is a perennial role under Article 136. Up the question comes, if prelims में, okay, this is means, if prelims में question come on interstate dispute, and there is a line, Supreme Court of India has no role in interstate dispute. Right or wrong? Yes, wrong. मैंने क्या word बोला? No role. That's why prelims, if you remember, we analyzed the prelims question once upon a time. Here we understood everything is in wording. The statement is Supreme Court has no role. नहीं है because Article 136 is there. But if it is written, if another statement writes, under Article 262, Supreme Court is barred from interfering in interstate dispute. Right or wrong? तो समझ में आया the difference between two statements? Keep this in mind while marking in prelims. Interpretation is very important. Cool. Okay. So this is one point Supreme Court said. Second point, Supreme Court has clearly said all rivers are nationalist. First point was wrong on the part of Supreme Court. This is good point. Supreme Court said that all rivers are national asset. It means no single country, no single state can have primacy over the waters. Matlab, the river going from Punjab is not the Punjab's river, they are the river of India. River going from Tamil Nadu is not Tamil Nadu's river, they are the river of India. Okay. All rivers of India now, after Supreme Court judgment, are national assets. No state has primacy over any of the water resources in entire India. Actually, it clears the pathway for Government of India's scheme, that is River Interlinking Project. तो मुझे उसका लीगल प्रॉपर नेम बता सकता है? Can anyone tell me the actual name of River Interlinking Project? We discussed this, I think 1 month back, I believe. What was the legal name? नहीं नहीं नहीं. Sagarmala, everyone answers Sagarmala in everything. Sagarmala is very different. It's a port-led development project. Different. How different is port-led development project? It's a river interlinking. चलिए आपको याद नहीं आ रहा, let me tell you again. Please remember National Perspective Plan. River interlinking project, जो commonly we call it, is a policy name is National Perspective Plan. Within that you have, everyone remember, National Perspective Plan. And within that you have River Interlinking Project. Cool, everyone? ठीक है. So actually it gives clarity to this. अब क्या होगा? For example, central government wants to link some rivers and the state makes a noise. After this point, they cannot make much noise. The central government will say these are national assets. So you cannot do anything about me. Go to Supreme Court. That's it. After the court said the principle of equality does not imply equal distribution. It's very simple. Equality means just because there is Tamil Nadu, there is, for example, there is Tamil Nadu, there is Karnataka. There are two states. It does not mean there should be 50-50 division. No. It will depend upon the requirement. मान लेते हैं 99% of the river is in Karnataka. Only 1% of the river is in Tamil Nadu. But if the Tamil Nadu people need 60% of the water of the river water will be diverted to Tamil Nadu. This point implies. Principal equality does not imply equal distribution. It will depend upon the requirement. Two states have population or otherwise, if the requirement vary, they will get water from the river allocated according to the requirement, not according to the catchment area or the size of the land. Clear है सबको third principle? Third point. Everyone clear third point? So remember these 3 points. Number one, Article 136 has primacy over Article 262. Number two, that all rivers are national assets now. Number three, the principle of equality does not imply equal distribution. Remember these 3 points of water dispute for sure. अब एक क्वेश्चन मेरे दिमाग में आता है that I want to ask you. Does it serve any purpose now to make tribunals after this judgment? Sense ही नहीं बचता. Because tribunal is a costly affair. I will establish a tribunal. I will hire some land or some office. I will have employees, typists, this and that drama. I will spend crores of rupees to adjudicate a case, and then Supreme Court will be like, "Aham Brahmasmi, I will solve everyone. I will give you justice." This is the problem. Please remember, everyone. Never, ever, ever. I think somebody said about Supreme Court appointing election commission. This is that point. Supreme Court or any justice court, they are only for justice. This should not be the point of governance. If Parliament makes a law, I will give you a good example. Keep this. You can all example I am giving now. Remember them. You can write them in any paper. So, for example, farm laws. When the farmer were protesting against the law, that is what we are saying. Supreme Court anyway has the last point. Tribunal, why we should waste the money? Let them go to Supreme Court. Supreme Court has so much of Supreme Court is there to give justice now after 2018. So why we waste money on tribunal? Supreme Court वैसे भी ज़्यादा काम नहीं करता. It works around, I don't know, 160 something days out of the entire. तो वैसे ही वो काम छोड़ बैठे हुए हैं, तो let them. These are some criticism. No institution is above criticism. Remember that. But nonetheless, एक चीज मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ, if the government is not keeping a gun over your head right now, it's because of Supreme Court. So we are thankful to Supreme Court for protecting our liberty, but sometimes Supreme Court is utter stupid in a lot of things. This is one of that. Nonetheless, second thing back there. So what I was saying, tribunal is redundant. That's the point we have to arrive now. Interstate River Water Dispute Amendment. This is a very good bill. I believe it must be passed, but now it does not make much sense. So, कुछ कह नहीं सकते. What is this bill? Previously, if you remember, I told you the biggest problem in border dispute is the center does not appoint the tribunal. वो हमने यहाँ rectify. Now there will be a single permanent tribunal. Means anyone can go to. Like a court, there is always a tribunal. If you have a problem, go to the tribunal. Do not disturb the central government to appoint someone. You can go there. Second thing, dispute resolution committees. Central government will set up dispute resolution committee, which will consist of experts, policy maker, representative states and center. They will arrive at a political negotiation and an answer. Okay, this point. Otherwise, it will have extra ad hoc benches. Matlab, the court will be permanent. The tribunal will be permanent. It will have benches. Concept of benches, let me tell you, the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is one institution. Within this, there are a number of benches. Something we call as two judges bench. सबसे छोटी होती है one judge bench. And you have two judges bench, also known as division bench. And you have three judges bench. And you have five. After that, add 2, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, as much as judges as they are. Many judges in the Supreme Court. We have currently 35 judges. There could be a 35 judge bench also if required. So far, we do not require this. The largest bench we ever had was Keshwanand Bharti case. In Keshwanand Bharti case, it was the largest bench ever. So there is no limitation on the Supreme Court judges sitting on a single case. Keep that in mind. So that is the bench concept. Tribunal will be one. It will be permanent, established, I believe, in Delhi, and it will continue to have benches. As the dispute will come, the bench will come in, resolve the case, the bench will die. The tribunal will be permanent. Other important point, the total time of adjudication, maximum 4.5 years. And all decision of the tribunal will be final and binding with no requirement of publication. Here, this is a good amendment. Please remember this amendment. So if I solve this in crux, so interstate dispute is a complicated mess of legal and political practice. Legal mein with the role of Supreme Court is disputed. Political mein the role of center is disputed. For that we have a good law. I hope it will be there. So anyone has any question so far? Yes, it's a bill number. It is not enacted yet. देखिए अब relevant भी नहीं है ना. Previously I could say politics के कारण it was not enacted, but now it is also not relevant. After the Supreme Court judgment, it is waste of time to have a trial. Supreme Court handle the case. It's so much interested to be the supreme justice institution. Let it happen. ये बाकी आप पढ़ लेना all the things that I've said. Institutional vacuum, site of political mobilization, long drawn adversarial process. To read them. The third news that we have to cover today is South China Sea conflict. So what is this conflict? Let me give you a bit of geography here. So before this, I want to ask: does anyone remember this thing? UN clause. What is this? Yes, law of seas, or you can say constitution of sea, whatever you want to say. So basically, we all know one thing, that the modern state concept. The modern state concept is, yes, sir. The modern state concept, TPS. We know this. Territory having a population with us ruled by a sovereign, TPS. So this is a new concept. Before this, what used to happen? You used to have empires. And empires, there was no fixed territory. And even fixed people were not there. It used to expand and contract depending upon the power of the king or queen, whatever may be in power. So what has happened since enactment of UN clause? Now there is a legal limit. Earlier, any country which had the power, they could dominate whatever sea they want. There have been empires which have dominated a large part of the world. This is, for example, have you ever heard of this Akhand Bharat concept? Basically, it's a land from Afghanistan to Myanmar, or north में from Nepal to Sri Lanka. This is Akhand Bharat. Okay. So this is an old concept. This Akhand Bharat concept, it is embedded in the morality of old times when we did not have the modern states. So it is that time. But there was Mauryan Empire, it was vast, then there was South में your Chola, Chera, Pandya empires. So based on that mentality, we are claiming this entire land as India. Which ethnically, I can say it is India, but nonetheless, modern state में you have this territory. By the same concept, we can claim entire Asia, or shall I say Eurasia. We can claim entire Eurasia as Greater Mongolia. Genghis Khan, I believe you have heard about him. Genghis Khan, he was a Mongolian emperor. He conquered most of the Asia. So if we go by that concept, the Mongolia should claim this entire continent as Greater Mongolia. I think you know this. Around 17 to 18% of the descendant, or the 17 to 18% of the entire humanity is believed to be the descendant of Genghis Khan. ना याद है लौंडा हमारा Genghis Khan, जो भी नाम है इसका. So it is believed that 17 to 18% of the, not EU is very different. We are SARC for that. SARC can be compared to EU, but है नहीं. Genghis Khan तो understand this. They could claim this, but ऐसा नहीं होता. These are old concepts. You will understand. Remember these few things, then you can understand South China. What has happened is, so South China Sea, if this is, for example, this you have the Chinese border. So this is how you have South China Sea, for example. So as per UN clause, you have your territory up to 200 nautical miles from the edge. To the edge, 200 nautical miles number. 350 is the continental shelf. वो अलग है. अच्छा किलोमीटर में yes 1.8 factor होता है. ठीक है. So 200 nautical miles. This is the territory that you have. 200 nautical miles is the territory of your exclusive economic zone. Kilometers में yes converted. The factor is I believe 1.8. Anyway. So the thing is, China is claiming entire South China Sea with a thing called 9 dash. Earlier it was 11 dash, then 9 dash came. What is Chinese argument? China says that once upon a time in history, we control this land. ये क्या बात? Once upon a time, we also control a large part of China. तो क्या तिब्बत को हम अपना बना लेंगे? We also control a large part of Indonesia. We can induct Indonesia in India? These are bogus arguments nonetheless. This is the politics going on. But China is playing a crafty game because this claim is exhausted as per UN clause. UN clause recognizes only this much. But China is constructing artificial islands. So with this, what you get? Imagine you construct an island here. So with that island, I told you what is state TPS. Territory it will get by constructing artificially. Population, it will resettle the Chinese people to these islands. Sovereign is the Chinese government. So these islands will become the part of Chinese empire, or you can say Chinese government, China. So 200 nautical miles from this island, China can claim. This is a game China is playing. China is constructing a lot of islands, artificial island in the South China Sea, and with the UN clause, once this island will become officially as the Chinese part, so under the definition of state, they will become the part of Chinese state. And as soon as they become the part of Chinese state, under UN clause, they can claim under up to 200 nautical miles from the island. That's how China is trying to capture entire South China Sea. This is the game China is playing. The question is, this is politics. The real reason is economy. Economy is this region, the South China Sea, is very good. It has minerals, a large number of marine minerals. it has a large number of minerals. So China is actually eyeing over the minerals of South China Sea. And this is economy. Strategically, if China controls the entire South China Sea, then it can control the trade from South China Sea. That's the strategic part China is. So, सबको clear है economic, political, and strategic significance for China. So remember only this point, 9 dash line, and the China is playing. I told you this all. Natural resources में about 10% of the national fisheries come from there. This major people were there. Trade route में understand 55% of the trade goes from these routes. Okay. Claim I told you these are the islands it's creating whatever. Now let's see what is India's stand. India is simply saying, where is India stand की अगर हम बात करें, India is simply saying I am neither a party and nor claimant. Means I am neither a party to any South China Sea dispute, and now neither, nor I am claiming any part of South China Sea. But India is saying neither party nor claimant, but you should maintain rule of law. Just like we maintain rule of law in our country. Somali. Anyway, so what is this India saying? As we always say, घर में कितने भी खाने को ना हो, we always try to show something bigger. China shows. Anyway, so rule of law. So we are saying maintain rule of law in South China Sea. Rule of law matlab freedom of navigation. Rule of law matlab no armed activity. Rule of law matlab anyone shall be allowed to explore. देखिए रूल ऑफ लॉ पे अगर रूल ऑफ लॉ होता, इसे ऐसे समझिए रूल ऑफ लॉ होता ना, तो कोरोना में when the common people were bitten by the police officer for not wearing the mask, the prime minister would be at least fined. So when he was never fined, to that tells the rule of इतना रूल ऑफ लॉ है हमारे देश में, इससे पता लग जाता है। चलिए कोई नहीं, we can what we can do that. So, so this is India's stand. You need to remember India's stand. India's stand is we are neither party nor claimant, but the rule of law shall be maintained in South China Sea. Rule of law means freedom of navigation, freedom of exploration, and no weaponization in South China Sea. This is India's stand. मैं सबके पीछे पड़ा हूँ, सबके पीछे ऐसा नहीं है ऑल पीपल आर लाइक सेम ऐसा नहीं है कांग्रेस ने बहुत तीर मारे अपने जमाने में कांग्रेस is also abuses power these all politicians are same I don't trust anyone they all are same I just only trust the people of India they all are the same हाँ ये है कि somebody is too much somebody is too less ऐसा फर्क है somebody is too extreme somebody is moderate but all are more or less the same they all love power कोई नहीं I hope some of you will become so please I hope सबको clear है what is South China Sea what are the real issues and what is invested any question हाँ yes I know that part इसमें देखिए how politics runs not uploaded in portal let me check give me a second अच्छा, एक काम कीजिए आप लोग right now all of you as to the class end send me hi on the mail I have actually created a folder on Google Drive it has all the PDFs of since the class I am taking out of current events so I will give you access to that folder to everyone तो आपको जितनी भी PDF since the class I am taking all the PDFs are there arranged in monthly wise you access there and download from there whichever PDF and I always this PDF will also go there you do send a hi I will just give you access to that email ID okay just a second so any question to anyone about this news please ask नहीं है ठीक है so this is a three news that we have to cover this time we covered the way we always cover historical background mains content prelims and all okay Next class say, no, you can oppose. If we construct an artificial island, anyone can oppose. But देखिए, the thing is, over time will become your territory. मान लेते हैं you created an artificial island in South China Sea. You will settle Chinese people 20, 30 years down the line. That area will be officially become your part. It's all about recognition. And China is a P5 member, if you remember. China will find a way. That's the thing it is playing. अभी कोई recognize नहीं करता. Keep this in mind. Except for China, nobody recognizes Chinese artificial island as Chinese property. Maybe in future, out of politics, things can. Okay. So that is done. Or what I was saying. Okay. Cool. Please remember, next class we will do prelims discussion. Whosoever is attending the prelims, for you it is very good. So what we will do, we will have every Saturday the class will be there. I will collect all the prelims data of that. Mains analysis will not be there much, maybe 1 or 2 points, but majority will be prelim. That will continue till this what you call that, the prelims exam. And if something different happens, then you will tell me. Bye everyone, have a nice day, and I will add you to that folder as soon as the class is over. Bye, have a nice day. We'll meet again next Saturday. And for other people, we'll meet in different classes. Very welcome. Very welcome, Anjali, Ram, Daman, Dilip. Bye.